Hello, buddy. Senior engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to take a look at an interview between Bloomberg and Scribe CEO. And of course, this is according to a tweet that was tweeted by Yair. So shout out to Yair once more. And this was done a couple of days ago, in fact, weeks ago. And, I just got time to cover it. So I said, you know what? Let's go through this interview because I think it's something interesting. I mean, Scribe has partnered with the big pharma company Eli Lilly, which I think a lot of people in the industry know. So let's go ahead and play this interview and see what we can learn from it.
The power of this technology, ultimately, your ex-editor, what are you going to be saying makes it different?
Yeah, so Caroline, great to be here with you. What we're actually talking about at the American Society for Cell and Gene Therapy later today is really laying out our CRISPR by design approach, which is an approach that I've been pioneering with Nobel laureate Jennifer Doudna and co-founder of Scribe really for the past decade. Our approach has been to use holistic molecular engineering, or the ability to change these CRISPR molecular machines at every single location to create more active and more specific and therefore safer therapeutics. So one of our scientists will be laying that out today.
And you have design by approach has been, well, Eli now working with Prevail Lilly, Eli Lilly, of course, is the parent company. Exclusive rights, really, to focus on your technology and use it within a neurological and neuromuscular disease context. How is this going to drive this forward? Why do the deal now with this particular company?
Yeah, so I think, there's a couple reasons here. First, obviously, our technologies have continued to advance, and we've been proving them out in vivo models, really demonstrating their ability to be delivered into these organ systems, namely, neurological and neuromuscular diseases. More specifically, I think it also represents a change in the field and thinking about how we can start to apply these technologies for really more complicated and more difficult to treat disorders.
Sense of timing here, Ben, because much enthusiasm around CRISPR and around how it can change medicine. But will this happen in the next year, the next 10 years?
So I think it's somewhere in between the two. There's still a lot of work to do, and I do not want to say that this is simple. That being said, we have seen CRISPR go from really publication within the past decade to really making huge differences in patients more recently. And that is incredibly rapid. I think that just demonstrates the power of this technology. And that's the first generation, right? What we're building really, light years ahead of what's come before. And we're very excited about our ability to move this rapidly and into diseases really at a much broader scale.
Can you give us a sense of how it is to do that within America, vis-a-vis other countries? How is this sort of technology being, the ability to quickly start to target these sorts of illnesses, the sort of partners that you get? Where do you think is the most practical and most efficient to do it?
That's a deep question, and one that actually has many layers, right? If we're talking about more basic technology building, the United States has incredibly powerful universities, which we get to work with, and we do quite regularly. So we have a very close collaboration with UC Berkeley, obviously where Jennifer works, and the Innovative Genomics Institute as well. Now, when we start to think about regulatory and moving beyond just building these technologies, I think that's where the world is also moving very rapidly, perhaps in some instances even more quickly than we are in the United States.
So a couple of good points here. First of all, it's always good and refreshing to see a CEO of a company talk about CRISPR. I know this is Scribe, so obviously they're involved in the CRISPR space, but it's always good to see a different company than the usual ones that we hear about. So CRISPR Therapeutics, Caribou, LPLA, and so on, so Beam. So that's first thing. Second thing, I think this partnership is really important because Eli Lilly is actually a huge pharma company. People underestimate this. They usually think about Moderna, they usually think about Pfizer or Regeneron, but Eli Lilly is up there. Third of all, what I want to mention is I find it interesting that, when the question came in, those are great questions from the anchor from Bloomberg, right? Shout out to this person at Bloomberg. She's done many great interviews. I'm thinking of Emily from Bloomberg, but that's not her. I forgot her name. But anyways, the point here is that there are great questions being asked. And one great question at the end was why in US, how you would get it done. And some of the answers from the CEO is really interesting, actually, when you think about it. Universities, you talk about the rule of law, you talk about, having a systematic infrastructure that can support innovation, right? And of course, US being such a huge economy, right? Innovation in the US comes hand to hand, right? So, in my opinion, and I've said this many times, is if it doesn't happen in US, you might as well pass on that company or partnership or even vertical, right? If you have a specific niche technology and it's not happening in the US, chances are it's never gonna blow up because US is where it starts. When you think about it, all these verticals, technology, the high tech companies like Google, Meta, Facebook, social media, you talk about video games, all of that, right? Now, obviously, they started some, for example, video games were really big in Japan and so on, but they didn't really reach scale until they hit the US, right? And that's why it's so important to have, I make a big reference here again, many times I've been making these references in almost each of my videos, but all eyes are on the FDA approval for Hexacell, right? Because this is the program. This is what matters. I mean, having it approved in the US will mean so much for this space, right? So it's a great interview. I'm really excited to see where Scribe goes here. I mean, I haven't really made that many videos on Scribe. I don't think I really made one video on Scribe, like dedicated in their company portfolio. I mean, it is relatively a new company compared to the other ones that we've been covering. So it'll be nice to see where this company goes. Again, CRISPR has a lot of use cases for different companies, right? You see that on the screen here, but I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited for this space. I mean, I was just reading something just recently, and it's just crazy how, every time you read an article about CRISPR, you're learning something new, right? It's just amazing, right? I love that. I think for the curious minds, it's definitely a great space to be into. So just wanted to make a video, guys, on this interview. Again, it was a quick video here on a Saturday, no webcam. I've told you guys when I'm in Montreal, there is no webcam because I just don't think it's worth it. And the lighting is not good. I'm not in my usual space, and just a microphone, I think it's good. And yeah, so here I am in Montreal. It's gonna be really sunny this today and this weekend. Really hot as well. So wherever you are, stay safe, drink water, stay hydrated. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video, hopefully tomorrow on Sunday. As I tell you guys, I'm making videos on weekends now, trying to, be consistent with that. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, subscribe if you not like this video, if you have value. And let me know in the comments, guys, what do you guys think about Scribe, Eli Lilly? What do you guys think? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.